Glory to you and your house. What was the name? Robert O'Reilly was Gowron from TNG and DS9. He was great. Best Klingon ever was Robert O'Reilly.
Best
Those
Klingon
big white
ever.
eyes.
All right, whenever you're ready, guys.
You brought dishonor to this house, Worf. Yeah. Okay. Let's get started. It's time to get things started. It's time to light the lights. It's time to read some cracky news on the Not News Squares tonight. Bloop, 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 bloop. And Ivan and Jeff are here too. Let's listen and read. We're gonna maybe laugh a bit and not hopefully not bleed.
That was painful.
That was awful. Yeah,
that was painful.
Oh, wow.
That was terrible. It was awful. I love it. So let's get started.
Yeah.
Hey, we were talking on the Squares of the Roundtable podcast about the long gone thing. So before we start, I did want to bring one thing up that I thought was funny. So they brought on the rap guy Nelly because he's from St. Louis. Mm-hmm. All right. And the reason why this works for News of the Squared is because they bring him on to talk about he's from St. Louis. They talk about the big rivalry between St. Louis and Chicago with baseball. And what is Nelly wearing? A Chicago Bulls jersey.
Whoa. Shots fired. Awkward.
I'm like watching it the whole time. I'm like, is he wearing a Bulls jersey? He sure is. And he's talking about why and all this stuff. And I'm like, kind of sitting there and I'm like,
oh, the hypocrisy.
Really? You couldn't find a cool throwback St. Louis Cardinals jersey or something like that? You decided to wear a Bulls jersey. Okay. I'm sure that went over well.
Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, really. Anyway, so Pringles and Wendy's have combined to create, get this, Baconator potato chips.
That's interesting.
Oh, you talk dirty to me. What's
It's been a while since I had a Baconator.
Yeah.
We didn't have to wait long to find out that Pringles and Wendy's have come together to unveil Baconator flavored potato chips. This limited edition treat will remind you of your fast food order. The goal with the chips was to get the Baconator, which is made up by a half a pound of beef, American cheese, 6 pieces of Applewood smoked bacon, ketchup, and mayo into a single chip. So in other words, the defibrillator really needs to be right next to you for this.
Yeah.
Pringles suggests piling some chips on a real Baconator or even dipping them in a Frosty to get the sweeter and salty taste to all of this.
Oh my God, that's insane.
According to Garth McGuire, the senior director of marketing for Pringles, he says, quote, Pringles brand delivers insanely accurate flavor combinations that are both delicious and convenient. With such a strong fan base, we knew we had to nail this fresh, never frozen Wendy's flavor perfectly. They will be available limited time beginning in June. So here in June.
It's now. June is now.
June is now.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's the time of the season
each
for
can
Pringles.
Each can comes with a code on the seal that can be used to get a free Wendy's Baconator, Son of Baconator, Breakfast Baconator with a purchase. Through the Wendy's app.
Wait,
how did they know
I can
we would
buy
be craving
a can of Pringles, and I get a free Baconator with it?
Yeah.
Look at that! Wow, I'm down.
Whoa.
That was the question I was going to ask both of you. Is so are you in on Baconator chips?
If I can find them, I don't know. What does it say?
Well, apparently they're available.
They're going to your local grocery store now.
Yeah. So Yeah, so it's available, man. We got to get back here
It
for the
says
next
that there's
show.
a store. And in fairness, this was early last week after we did the last set. He said that there was an Instagram account from somebody at Festival Foods, that a grocery store that operates out throughout Wisconsin, that they have some. I'm trying to see if there's any. I don't know.
You have to be on the lookout.
Hold on a second. Yeah. Well, hold on. Let's see. Should we Google it? Should we see if there's
Shit.
fake?
I'm on the road tomorrow, man. I'm going to check that out. Hell yeah. I need me some of that.
Do they have like a? Hold on. Let's try Illinois. Where do I buy them? Aha. Give us the current location.
All they have to do is come up with the fake potato, and I'm done.
Where to find them? Okay, that's not helping.
Maybe there's a Reddit thread for it.
By the way, guys,
I don't like Reddit. Reddit's hard to read, like follow threads on it. It's not a good setup.
It's hard to
not a good layout
when
for
you read
information. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Reddit.
So are you a fan of baked potatoes or fries with your cheeseburger?
I'm fries, dude, with my...
fries.
Oh,
fries.
Definitely fries.
Fries. I'm not having luck finding this at the moment. Well, let's not worry about it. It's out there. Look for it. You might find it. You may not.
If we get more information, we'll bring it to you, our listeners.
Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll just use it for ourselves.
Yes, and get all the Baconator chips for ourselves.
Yes, get all the Baconator chips for ourselves.
I mean, you buy a can, what is it, like a can of Pringles is what, $2? And you get a free burger with it? That's awesome.
Get this. Jewel right now has like I think Jewel, obviously I don't know if they have the Baconator one, but Jewel had them on sale right now where you could like get I think you get them like for 49 cents a thing.
No, that
sounds
with
a coupon or something.
Maybe
like
with
that.
a coupon, maybe, or buy one get one or something.
No, not buy one get one.
For $5.
So there's that. There's
be on the lookout.
Chips out there.
Yeah,
we need those in our life. Not really,
yeah,
we do.
Yes, we do.
So
I think I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Do you have anything, Mike, or do we want to go to the next thing?
We'll go to the next one here.
So I thought this would be kind of amusing because we kind of talked about this on the Squares of the Roundtable podcast,
right?
About how like when all the looting was happening in Chicago and like they'd bring like the U-Hauls and all that stuff. So and we kept sitting there saying, well, they're gonna find them, right? So apparently, this is from CBS 2 Chicago. People found admitting out loud to looting and selling stolen goods on Facebook.
Oh my goodness!
Man. Not something you want to flaunt.
What? Yeah,
we sent the evidence. According to this, they sent the evidence to the Chicago police, and
they rounded
what
them
will
up.
happen. There was a call for photos and videos of looting last week. The FBI was asking anyone with information of unlawful activity to submit it, and the Chicago Police Department was taking it too. One woman, get this, one woman posted on Facebook Live video publicly on Sunday, May 31st, and got about 6,600 views and 41 shares. It showed looting at a strip mall and a van filled to the brim. The second public Facebook Live video posted a few days later, woman stands behind the video and photos posted on her page, admitting out loud that she had looted. She called out the people, tagging police in the video, and defended her selling of the looted clothing and liquor, referring to it as stolen, saying it wasn't the first time. Quote, I don't give no expletive about this shit. I uploaded stolen expletive 365 a year, she's heard saying. This ain't expletive the first time I did this.
Stolen expletives. Those are the worst kind.
Yeah.
Stolen one.
Well, I think we get expletives if we eat too many Baconator chips. But
Indeed.
So I guess
good ones.
So I guess, yeah, like I said, so apparently, yeah, there's people who are going on Facebook and
Selling the stolen shit.
So it says here. So I guess CBS 2 reached out to the woman
Wow.
who posted the public Facebook Live videos, and the producers were blocked by one of her friends. We never got to comment from her included on the story. So yeah, maybe not such a good idea.
No.
Mm-mm.
Hey, got 100 records for you, man. I just stole them.
Yeah.
You got me on the camera.
Stealing stolen expletives.
Yeah, stealing stolen expletives. There you go.
All right.
Cover up that I stole the Baconator Pringles. That's what it is.
There you go.
That's why they were hidden at strip mall.
This one from Mike Boyle.
Mike Boyle.
Because he says the gift of the floor man just keeps on giving. This is from the hold on. Why do I get the pop up now? You have read one article this month. Okay, enough.
It's from the South Florida Sun Sentinel.
Yes, it says porn actor running for office in Wilton Manors, Florida. You know, it's funny. I actually did business with someone, the city of Wilton Manors, Florida.
Could be this guy.
Once. You know, it's funny. I thought it might be. Anyway, porn actor is bidding for a new role in something called Politics. The adult film actor Juan, I'm gonna butcher his last name, Melacino.
Or is it Melesio?
Melesio, okay, whatever. Submitted his paperwork Monday to run for a commission seat in Wilton Manors. He also goes by several other names, including Juan de Vela, his mother's last name, and his stage name is Antonio Biaggi. He turns 42 on this past week, and said he lived in the city for a year, and this is his first bid for office. He said he has appeared in scores of porn flicks, although his attention is more focused on producing the films these days through his company, Biaggi Productions. His candidacy has drawn scrutiny as protests take place across the country against racism through Black Lives Matter. In 2016, he was sued by a black police officer in Richmond, Virginia, who accused him of making racist remarks, including allegedly telling an officer to get your cotton pick N-word, LMFAO.
Wow.
The Federal Records show.
Whoa.
We got expletives and deleted words. This is today's show. Expletives and deleted words. Now, of course, our friend the porn actor denies those accounts.
Of course.
There's a defamation lawsuit.
Yes, there is.
Falsely accused. Accused. And let's see. There's stuff about. I'm sorry. He's openly gay and married.
Openly gay and married.
And one of his goals is to make the city of Wilton Manors more inclusive to all residents, not just those who are gay. We should have more festivals, not just gay pride.
Right.
He said he understands the need of business community since he owned a spa and a barber shop in Wilton Manors for years and sold in 2019. I'm from Puerto Rico, he says. I'm a very passionate person, especially when eating Baconator chips.
Expletives.
When something is right, I just go for it. Wilton Manors is known as the unofficial capital. I did not know this. Wilton Manors is known as the unofficial capital of LGBT community in South Florida and one of the most gay-friendly cities in the country. I feel like Johnny Carter. I feel like Ed McMahon. I did not know that.
That is weird. That is wild. I did not know that.
That's wild. I did not know that.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay, this goes on and on about running this stuff.
Yeah,
this is not nearly as funny as I thought.
Yeah. Well, good luck to him. I hope he wins. And
hopefully
that's not true about what he said. to that comp.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you might have some stiff competition.
Oh.
You're trying to get a rise out of this now? Oh!
Yeah. Expletive deleted.
Mm-hmm.
Deleted expletive.
Expletive, yeah. So, I don't know if this one's true or not, but I thought this was funny.
Whatever.
There was a woman who posted on Twitter, said, "Why can't I find a guy like this?" And it's a picture of a young Axl Rose. And Axl Rose answered her and said, "Hey," obviously his picture from today. And I figure I didn't do it, I do it. And she's like, "No." And Axl Rose is like, "But I'm literally the guy in the pic."
No, I think that's Photoshop. But yeah, it's one of those. I think I've seen these before, but like, yeah, he's not aged well. Like Vince Neil, he is not aged well.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, who else? David Lee Roth. Ooh.
Oh yeah, no,
he's a zombie, man.
He could eat some bacon or chips and be just fine. He might need a few.
Yeah, he might bulk a little bit, but he'll have to eat a lot of them, though, because he's getting bones, man.
I think this one will get us back on track. New York's latest coronavirus sex advice basically encourages glory holes and Zoom orgies.
Yay!
Glory holes and Zoom orgies.
Yeah, this is from BuzzFeed. Make it a little... remember back in March,
full of glory holes.
The right.
Really?
I don't even want to know where you guys are going today.
Hey man, we were about to get into a music number here, man.
Yeah, delete expletive. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, see how you are, man. Okay, we go from here.
That girl is poison. Remember back in mid-March, right as the coronavirus pandemic was taking off the United States, New York City officials issued some helpful advice on sex practices during the outbreak. The guide issued by the New York City Health Department advised that residents on how to enjoy sex and avoid spreading COVID-19 by essentially sticking to masturbation and only having sex with people in your household, meaning your partner or consenting roommate, if that's the deal you have with them, not otherwise.
Oh yeah, that's right. You know,
well, get ready, you whoring quarantinos, because the good folks at the health department are back and they're feeling a little kinky. On Monday, the city updated its advisory. Among the new recommendations are masks, glory holes, and Zoom orgies.
Okay.
According to health officials, wearing a face covering or a mask, maybe it's your thing, maybe it's not, but during COVID-19, wearing a face covering that covers your nose and your mouth is a good way. Okay. Added protection layer during sex. Wow. Heavy breathing and panting can spread the virus further. Good to know.
Okay.
Here's the thing. It says, make it a little kinky. They suggested, before alluding to something that can only be construed as a glory hole. Be creative with sexual positions and physical barriers like walls that allow sexual contact while preventing close face-to-face contact.
Yeah, or make a glory hole with like clear plexiglass. That way you can still see your partner.
Yeah. Well, okay.
What? We sell a lot of plexiglass at the hardware store, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of these people would be like, hey, I need one about 6 foot tall.
You can get involved with all that. Wow.
I don't want to do that. I want to be able to sit there and eat Baconator chips while someone's sucking my... Well, anyway.
No.
Hey!
For those who like to hook up, for those people who like to hook up and with people they meet online, the city says
you know who you are. Don't sit there like that. You know who you are.
The city says you should consider keeping sex in a virtual space. Video dates, sexting, subscription-based fan platforms, sexy Zoom parties, or chat rooms may be optional for you, they said. They advised.
Let me show you my Oscar Mayer.
The previous guys urged to avoid group sex, but that recommendation has disappeared now in favor of having a few partners as possible. and ensuring that they are people that you trust.
Man.
Okay. How would you know if you're using a glory hole? Anyway, limit the size of the guest list. There's a guest list
Of the group?
There's a guest list.
Okay.
Orgy for 5. Party of orgy for 5. Please.
They asked for the double bottles of hand washer and
Now,
towels.
Now, this can be construed multiple ways, which is limit the size of your guests, keep it intimate. What, we don't like big people? Or is it size matters? Or what are we talking about here?
I'm thinking the same thing, man. I feel discriminated against.
Pick larger, more open, and well-ventilated spaces for group sex. Obviously, you should still avoid sex if you're not feeling well, but if you're not experiencing any corona symptoms, and you do want to meet people for sex, ask them about Corona-19 just as you would talk to them about safe sex, as such they use their condoms or whatever the heck else. You are your safest sex partner. Masturbation will not spread COVID-19, especially if you wash your hands.
Right.
And any sex toys with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Happy sex to you all.
Yes.
If I have the right toys and some bacon or chips, life is good. So there you go.
And of course, an evening worth of expletives and
stolen expletives.
Stolen expletives and
deleted expletives. Yeah, that too.
Speaking of expletives that might have been deleted or stolen, there's another story from Scott.
Okay, Scott.
See, we hear about stories where a bride or groom is left standing at the altar after their partner got cold feet. Well, that was almost the case for one woman who probably should have just bailed on her wedding altogether, but instead, she decided to go through with the ceremony and make it very memorable. The bride-to-be, who told her story on an Australian website, I don't know, learned the day before she was set to wed that her fiancé, Alex, had been cheating on her. Now, she was sure Alex was the one, and she spent 6 years together before the day they were set to tie the knot. However, hours ahead of their nuptials, as she excitedly prepared with her friends in a hotel room, she received a text that would change her life. It said, "I wouldn't marry him, will you?" and included screenshots of conversations Alex was having with another woman. Included in them were selfies and very recent comments like, "I've never had this kind of connection before," and "Your body is expletive incredible," and "Expletive, do you know how to use it? I wish my girlfriend had half the skills you do."
So,
while the bride's friends said she needed to call off the wedding, she could not bring herself to do it, explaining, "How could I cancel when everyone had already traveled to be there and everything was paid for?" She tried to sleep, but couldn't, and eventually decided to go through with the wedding, but planned to out Alex in front of everyone.
Damn.
So she describes what happened, saying, "I walked down the aisle with leaden feet, my dream dress now just a costume. As he saw my face, he knew this was not an ecstatic woman on her big day, but he had no idea what was coming. I arrived at the front of the room, took a big breath, and I faced our friends, our parents, and told them the truth about Alex. There will be no wedding today," I announced. "It seems Alex is not who I thought he was." A ripple of shock went through the crowd, and Alex tried to grab my hands, and I put down my flowers to reveal my phone in my hand. I read every single message she sent me. With each word, more color left Alex's face. I let my weeping eyes rise and meet his, and he had not one thing to say. He stalked out of the church with his best man traveling behind him. His family looked on horrified. With him gone, the bride turned to her guests and said, "I love all of you, and as horrible as this is, I'm glad you're all here. There will not be a wedding reception today, but instead there will be a celebration of honesty, finding true love, and following your heart, even when it hurts." She concluded her story saying, "It was certainly not the wedding day I had planned, but to our credit, it was one hell of a party."
Did they have bacon or chips?
Not likely. They were not.
How about glory holes?
maybe that was one hell of a party. Maybe afterward.
Okay.
The party after party from the party.
Yeah,
party.
Why not?
Yes.
Why don't want to waste a party, man?
No. Why would you do that,
dude? Like, oh man, that's awful.
That's
that sucks.
Yeah.
Actually, no. That was part of the problem. Is that apparently she didn't. That it was the lack of sucking. I don't know. Hey, by the way, are we doing like the flashback thing that we talked about, or are we not doing that this week?
Ivan?
Not this week. Let's do it next week.
Okay.
You keep teasing people. I'll get people mad.
Well, yeah, you keep teasing them, and believe me, they will be rewarded. I found 4 more reels on you, my man.
All right, great.
Jesus Christ, that's not what I wanted to hear out loud.
Oh well, yeah.
Then we'll space them out. We'll have it for next week.
Rare behind the scenes Stein. Stein is you've never heard him before or since, but definitely some Stein.
This is not good. I had hoped that a lot of these things were lost. All right. As long as we're on this, anyway. Speaking of government urges singles to find a cuddle buddy or support bubble during pandemic.
What about a thunder buddy?
I don't know. During the pandemic, two people on a first date, two people on the first encounter might discuss where they're going to see themselves in the future, and they're seeing other people. Dating during the outbreak has demanded a different deal breaker. What are their social practices? Governments, which had already, there's an advertisement I can't seem to get rid of. Why is it here? Go away.
Ads.
Go away.
The bane of Jeff's existence.
Go away. Okay, anyway, the government, which has already thought of championing monogamy through tax structures and other policies. Really? There's a tax structure for monogamy? Anyway, this has got to be... Oh, of course, England, sure. Starting Saturday, single adult households in England will be able to form a support bubble with one other household. Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced Wednesday, as part of the country's easing of corona restrictions, support bubbles must be exclusive, meaning you can't switch the household you're in as you're in a bubble with contact with multiple people. This would not be a problem with the glory hole thing. All those in the support bubble will be able to act as they live in the same household, meaning they can spend time together inside each of each other's homes and do not need to stay 2 meters apart. This is not nearly as fun as I thought it would be.
Well, at least Boris Johnson, he survived Corona. I mean, he was hospitalized. He didn't have to go on a ventilator, but for a while, I think he was pretty messed up. The Rona got him.
I'm just amused by the fact that apparently...
And he's all like, we're going to fight you're going to have support bubbles. That's how we fight.
As long as we get Baconator chips, I'm good.
Yeah.
And glory holes. Baconator chips and glory holes. while I'm listening to that person read her texts. That would be good.
With lots of
lots of looting and stolen expletives.
So this one's kind of good. This one is from the Pro Wrestling Sheet. I thought this was kind of amusing. So one of the wrestlers, Joey Janela, was talking about the owner of All Elite Wrestling, which is a guy by the name of Tony Khan, whose dad owns the Jacksonville Jaguars of the NFL. And apparently, Tony likes to party because he carries around a duffel bag filled with White Claw.
Okay.
Bad boy Joey Janela says he's responsible for turning Tony Khan into a White Claw fanatic.
Tony
and
Claw.
Tony the Claw.
Oh, God. That's
Oh,
he's like a mobster name.
Yeah, Tony the Claw. So Tony Khan into a White Claw fanatic, and in a new interview, he revealed how the president knows how to party. So speaking on the Doughboys podcast, Janela said, Khan's Claw fandom has soared to incredible heights. I got Tony Khan into White Claws. He's really into it. So now he carries around a duffel bag full of White Claws. If we go to a restaurant and they don't have White Claw, there's a duffel bag of White Claws under the table. That's what everybody's drinking.
Wow. Wow.
How does he walking around with how does anyone not? Well, you're a billionaire. I guess you can do that. And apparently, it's not just. So apparently, the entire AEW locker room is obsessed with White Claw. But the other part that was crazy is, I guess so. Tony Khan, who's the owner of AEW, has post-show shindigs that become the stuff of legend. According to Janela, we go back to the hotel, and Tony throws a party. This happens every week. Eventually, about an hour or two in, he'll order like 100 Whopper sandwiches for no reason.
Whoa. Not a Baconator or Whopper, man.
Yeah, well, apparently not. Janela said the... I'm sorry?
I said, do you like Whoppers?
Whoppers are all right.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm going to have my choice of things, I'll take a Baconator.
Like Wendy's burgers better, but I mean, I
like McDonald's better too. But,
no, I don't do the Big Mac or the Quarter Pounder with cheese. I'd sooner get a Whopper.
Oh, absolutely.
No, I can't do the...
Wendy's?
I can't go to McDonald's anymore. No.
No, I'll go to McDonald's. McDonald's is good stuff. So anyway, so apparently Janela was talking about the insane quantity of the takeout is never far away. It's quote, it's always an excessive amount of food with him. There'll be like 18 people partying, and he'll order 300 tacos.
Wow.
300. Hold on a second. I gotta do the math. 300 tacos.
Okay, how many people are in the room?
18, and they're all wrestlers. So hold on a second. So
okay,
that's like,
so
what,
that
16,
like,
17 tacos a person?
I want to say closer to 22 tacos a person.
I got 16.
I got 22. 22.
Okay, somewhere in there is we can write an average. But anyway, pro wrestlers, I could eat 22 tacos. I could see that. I wouldn't want to be in the room after eat 22 tacos.
Yeah, well, they could eat 22 tacos. And then how big are the tacos? I mean, are they like regular sized tacos, or like Las Comales? They got a taco that's like 3 inches big. It's really tiny.
I'm gonna guess, depending on the time of day. Let's say late at night. We're talking Taco Bell.
Okay, so we're talking about the 6 to 7 inch taco, 6 inch hard shell.
I don't know if it's a hard shell. How do I know? I don't party with this guy. How would I know? I'm busy eating bacon ear chips. You think I have a clue?
I think the health department recommends hard shell tacos with your Zoom orgy.
Okay.
All the glory holes.
As long as we're on, speaking of things, as long as we're on celebrity type stuff. So apparently, we are all aware of Stephen Amell, who is formerly the Green Arrow, or kind of technically the Green Arrow from the show Arrow. So apparently, despite his efforts to be a good neighbor, tensions with a nearby resident have escalated, culminating in an odd response to a conflict involving illegal construction. Amell's neighbor evidently defecated on the roof of the actor's home.
Jesus.
Oh.
Talk about stolen expletives.
In response, yeah, seriously.
Oh, man.
In response to Amell and his wife complaining about an illegal construction project that had been in the works for over 3 years, the actor posted photos of his neighbor's act the day after the foul act was committed on social media as proof. Online responses have varied, but generally consist of a combination of shock and humor, some referencing his time as the Green Arrow. And there it is, right there on the... That's a big poop. That's a big poop for a little girl.
That's a woman. That's a big expletive, I guess.
Maybe she hit one of those 300 tacos. 300 tacos would do that.
Arrow can wash that down with some White Claw.
Yeah.
Speaking of washing stuff down.
Well, hold on. So there's a bunch of funny comments about it. I'm thinking like this one being like you failed so shitty. Yeah, that's one. Yeah. So apparently a woman took a poop on Stephen Amell's roof. So there you go. What do you got? What do you got, Mike?
Well, it's another one that Jeff has posted. Now, apparently, Pepsi is going to make their flavored Pepsi drink, Pepsi Pineapple, available in the U.S. after gaining popularity in Japan.
Ooh.
I have just one question.
What?
Can you drink it with pizza?
Sure, why not? I think that's okay.
That is a good question. And it depends on the type of pizza you're going to have with it. You know.
Is that way you will get pineapple on your pizza, but just not.
Yeah, but you're drinking it. You're not eating it. But if you were to do that as well as have pineapple on your pizza, does it make it right?
I don't know. But if you go to the glory hole, I'm sure they'll make an extra topping for you.
There you go.
Either that or ask Stephen Amell's neighbor. She'll put a topping on it for you for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Expletive delete. Expletive delete.
Yeah.
No, I could
on your pizza with your pineapple Pepsi.
Yeah.
I think I can do a pineapple Pepsi with a pizza.
I'd be willing to try it.
Yeah, I sure would. I
don't know, like I don't do cherry drinks or anything like that. So.
Well, I do cherry drinks, and
I'll give it a try if I see it. If I can get some Baconator chips to go with them.
You know, that would be a great test of character right there.
Wash it down with a duffel full of White Claw.
Duffel bag of White Claws.
Yeah. Follow it up with 300 tacos and 100 Whoppers, baby.
Oh boy! And down the road you go.
Bathroom destroyed. Yeah, seriously. So this is from England. A woman hatched 3 ducklings called Meep, Peep, and Beep that she bought from eggs from the store. Charlie Lilello from Hertfordshire put the Clarence Court eggs in an incubator as an experiment to pass time after being furloughed. She said the ducklings will live a very happy life with her pet chickens. The spokesperson for the apparently the place is called Waitrose. A spokesman for them said fertilized eggs were safe to eat and entirely indistinguishable from normal eggs unless incubated. The woman who did this normally works as an assistant manager in the shop, got the idea from seeing a video on Facebook of someone hatching quail eggs from the supermarket. Jesus. Well, okay, I guess we'll have to find that one now, won't we? While I was in the store, I saw duck eggs, and I thought maybe those would work as well. So I was excited for them to hatch, but I still had in the back of my mind that these are supermarket eggs. They have been collected and bashed and around on a delivery truck and then rolled around on a trolley onto the shelf, picked up and put down by who knows how many people. So they might not have gone all the way. A month after putting them in the incubator, she heard a tiny beeping sound, and the Braddock white ducklings started to emerge from their shells. She said it's been an amazing experience hatching the cutest little fur balls of fluff. But she said she would not be repeating it. She said the only reason I could try was I was being currently furloughed and I have time to raise them to an age where they won't need me all day. Under normal circumstances, this wouldn't have been possible or fair on them.
And there's a picture of the article on the BBC.com of the package that the eggs came in with the 2 live ducklings.
Yeah.
Wow.
3 3 live ducklings.
Oh, there's 3 of them, yeah, but there's
3. There's Meep, Beep, and Peep. And I don't. Unless Mike's got another story, I only got one left.
Yeah, I got one more. I just posted to the Squares Roundtable Facebook page.
Okay.
This one's from OregonLive.com. Apparently, a Portland man who erroneously claimed that a homeless man shot him. Turns out he accidentally shot himself in the groin.
Oh no!
Oh yeah!
Oh no!
A Portland man who accidentally shot himself in the groin, but told police he was robbed and shot by a homeless man at a bus stop. He was sentenced to nearly 6 years in a federal prison. Oh, that's hard time.
Yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
There's a glory hole.
Yeah. So, Marcus Anthony Davis Jr., age 35, wasn't allowed to have a gun because he had been convicted of prior felonies and was on federal supervision for a drug offense at the time of the January 8th shooting.
Ooh,
U.S. District
expletive.
Judge Karen Immergut sentenced Davis to 5 years and 9 months in custody after he pleaded guilty to being a felon in possession of a firearm. Prison term was a joint recommendation by the prosecutor, defense lawyer. This is not as funny as this I thought it would. But the records show that a single bullet traveled through the top of his penis
Oh!
and through his right testicle.
Oh!
Stop! Oh.
And he claims he'd been robbed and shot by a white homeless man at a TriMet stop at Southeast Powell Boulevard.
Bullshit.
Of course, no evidence of a shooting or robbery. Yeah, he had to.
Oh!
And they go to Oregon Live, and there's a picture of the arrow as to the direction the direction of it was into his through his thigh, and yeah, it's not.
Where's my button for delete expletive?
Delete this shit.
Yeah, it's just oh my god.
Yep,
I'm gonna need those. I'm gonna need a duffel full of White Claws after that. Holy shit!
Stupid people with guns.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you talked about penises. We'll end on pythons.
Oh, okay.
A python hunter left bleeding after a fight with a 17-foot python.
Jeez, he's lucky to be alive.
An estimated 17 feet, the python might not be a record breaker, but the fight is one for the history books. Hunter Mike Kimmel wrapped a cloth bag around his arm to stop the bleeding and tried to settle his breathing. Alone and deep in the Everglades, the state-contracted python hunter. I didn't even know they had a. That's right. Didn't we talk about snake?
Yeah, we talked about snake hunters. And thank you, Florida
they were
man.
getting paid.
Thank you,
Florida man.
Yeah, man.
Had just wrestled an estimated 17-foot snake he found in the tangle underbrush. 17 feet. Holy shit. That's huge.
Well, he had to wrestle it because if he tried to shoot it, he'd have shot it through his penis. So
maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
mean, that's what? That's what? 3, that's like almost, that's like what?
That's like 3 people long, pretty much.
Like,
I mean, it's not even 3 people. It's like, okay, you're talking.
Okay, like if each person was 5 foot, it would be 3 people.
You know, I mean, essentially, it's like, okay, you got Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Shaq, and then Kevin Hart.
To finish it off, yeah.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Seriously.
Fair enough. Okay.
I mean, okay, maybe not Kevin Hart. Maybe somebody smaller than that. That's the best I could do. So he wrestled with the estimated 17-foot snake, and so Kimmel, who is said in an Instagram post that he is an invasive that the invasive reptile probably weighed more than he does, grabbed the snake by the tail, underestimating its reach. It bit him, sinking its teeth deep into his arm. And by the way, you can take a look at this thing. It's nasty.
Oh, no.
Wait, was someone photographing him? Like, while he was fighting?
No, but he's got this thing on Instagram where it shows a picture of like what it looks like when he's got that. Oh, wow.
Okay.
So anyway, she got me, son. I got her though. Kimmel said in a Facebook video posted. That shows angry streams of blood oozing down his arm onto the coiled snake and soaked into his pants.
Wow.
Damn, I'm linking everywhere. Kimmel, who goes by the social media moniker, get this, the Python Cowboy. Isn't that the guy who's Isn't that the guy who's running for Wilton Manor's commission? Is the Python Cowboy?
Yeah. I think that's going to be his running mate. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
At least it wasn't that one video. Maybe
it's all about length and girth in that campaign.
Apparently, yeah.
So anyway, he's got a moniker of the Python Cowboy. Won this year's Florida Python. There's a Python Bowl?
What?
Okay, get this. There's something called a Python Bowl, and he caught 8 snakes during the tournament. He's also known for his work trapping and killing invasive green iguana, Egyptian geese, and feral hogs. Now, geese, I agree with 110%. Those are a bunch of dicks. I hate geese. But it's the python that's made him a social media star, with videos and photos showing him catching these 3 pythons at once, and comes up on a python nest full of eggs. One of the most significant moments in Kimmel's python hunting career. He said in an Instagram post, "It has been my quote. It's been my goal since day one to become a state contracted python hunter. And years ago, to find an active python nest." This guy is crazy.
Yep.
Oh, man.
He said on the morning find only 22 eggs because she's a smaller python, but I ain't complaining. That's 23 invasive predators removed before lunch. He's part of the South Florida Water Management Python Hunting Program. We've talked about this before. These guys get paid quite a bit.
To hunt pythons.
We were joking with you, Ivan, at one point that you should apply to this.
Yeah,
that's right. You did. I remember
I think this
that.
is when Chance the Snapper was going in through town.
Was hanging around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wow.
So that's all I got. I don't have anything else.
Nope. That's all we got. I think.
I had a Python Cowboy. We had glory holes. We had
porn stars running for office.
Porn stars running for office. Delete
and Pringles
expletives.
with a brand new Wendy's chip.
Yeah, and wrestlers that have 300 tacos and 100 Whoppers in a freaking duffel bag full of like White Claw, and then we wash it down with some pineapple,
Coke,
Pepsi, and all that shit. I mean, this has been crazy.
You've got a full plate, that's for sure.
And P.S. Deli.
To you.
And P.S. Deli. Next time you're going to talk about the St. Louis from St. Louis, and you're talking about the Cubs and the Cardinals, perhaps you should wear something from St. Louis, not a Bulls jersey. I mean, I don't mind as a Chicagoan. I thought it was great. Yeah, you wear the Bulls jersey. That's hysterical. Just tells me everything I want you to know about St. Louis and why I don't care about it.
Don't shoot yourself in the groin.
St. Louis. Let me tell you something. St. Louis, the best is. Have you ever seen that where what's his name? Patrick Stewart reads the reviews on Yelp of some of like the best monuments or some of the most famous monuments. I don't
know if he was on Kimmel or something like that, and maybe just a random internet video he made.
I think it was a random internet video. Anyway, so he's doing that, and he's talking about the arch, and he's like, it's like, let me see if I got this right. I can't remember, something about it being just like a piece of metal that got twisted and looks like a half McDonald's arch, and why do I care? I was like, yes! Finally somebody gets it. I don't know. It's so stupid. It's like there's an arch. Who cares? It's not like there's a pot of gold at the end of it or anything like that, or a rainbow or anything. Anyway, sorry, that's my rant. I'm done. I need White Claw.
Yeah, you need the White Claw. You need a duffel bag of White Claw, my man.
I need a glory hole. Well, maybe not a glory hole. I don't know. Well, maybe. Who knows?
And of course, you can hear all of this and more. Mike, where can they find
thought you were going to get into it. It's like, no, nope. No, I'm passing that buck. We're on Instagram and Twitter at SOTRT Podcast. We're on YouTube. Click the bell, subscribe, and get into good content, of course. And then our sister show, News is Squared. Hey, there's Scott.
What?
Our chief news correspondent. We appreciate you, dude. Thanks for helping us out with finding all these crazy news stories. Because sometimes we're just so busy in our lives that me and Ivan and Jeff, we just can't do it. We appreciate your support. Of course, we support all these other podcasting platforms that you can listen to our show on. Podbean, Apple, Google, Spotify, Anchor, and of course, email us at sotrtpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes. Take care. See you next time.
Hey, you gonna do another little song for us, Mike?
No.
Oh, come on.
Exit 2.
Adieu, farewell. Hello, I must be going. I don't know.
Hello, I must be going. It's been so very nice. Yes, we are just showing, so know that we're going to be back to you. As hello, I must be going.
I don't get it. Okay, I'm going for White Claw.